Yeah, good morning. Joining us, Jorge Baron, Executive Director, Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. We appreciate you being here. First, just give our viewers the abridged version of what it is that you guys do.
So we're an organization that's providing immigration legal assistance to low-income people who can't afford private representation in the immigration context. So we help people navigate the immigration system. Which
is very relevant for what we're dealing with right now. Obviously, this decision means the halt on this ban remains in place. But I have to imagine that there's still a little bit of concern from people who have connections to these 7 countries that maybe they don't want to leave while this is in limbo. What are you hearing?
Yeah, because I mean, even though we're pleased by the decision that the Court of Appeals issued yesterday, the president has said that he's going to continue the fight, and I think this is still a preliminary stage of the case. So I think even though there's at least some assurance in the next couple of weeks, there's still the uncertainty about what's going to happen longer term, and so people from those countries are concerned. But I have to tell you that we're getting questions from people from many other countries who are concerned because they're saying, well, if the president can do that with these 7 countries, what prevents him from trying to do the same thing for people from other regions?
There are people who are wondering now if this is going to cause an influx of individuals coming into the country to sort of try to beat any reversal that might happen. Are we seeing that already for people from these 7 nations?
Well, I think it's important to understand that the people we're talking about have people who already had visas, who had already been through the process. Okay. And so we were not talking about people who could try to take advantage, as the president has tried to say, that people are going to try to sneak in. I mean, there's people who have already gone through a very long process to be able to get a visa. And so for people in that situation who've been trying to reunify with their family members and who are ready to travel, I think there are people who are trying to do it right now because they're concerned that the window might close if the courts lift the stay. But I think again, people have had to go through a process that is pretty extensive. So people trying to start now, it's still going to take several months for them to be able to get a visa.
Now, would you be in favor of, one of the suggestions, at least from legal experts, has been to the president to go back, maybe reevaluate the travel ban and some of the people that are included. Would you be willing to offer advice to the administration on, sure, if you're trying to keep the country safe, here's some ways that you could tweak that ban that wouldn't be so offensive to us?
Well, listen, I mean, I have, 3 kids. I want our country to be safe. I think we all share that goal. I think the question is, how do you do this? And I think the administration can review, they should be constantly reviewing its procedures to make sure that things are safe. But as I was explaining to somebody earlier, it's kind of like saying that we want to review our, TSA security screenings at the airport, but saying we're going to stop flying for 90 days while we do that. That would be incredibly disruptive. And I think people would say, well, you can review security screenings as the process continues because we already have pretty extensive security processes in place.
I know that the focus right now is on the travel ban, but there is another executive order that certainly has an impact on immigrants and on our area, and that is the executive order in regards to sanctuary cities that would pull federal funding from cities like Seattle that provide a safe haven for undocumented immigrants. Why have you guys not sought legal action on that? They sought legal action on this travel ban. They didn't like it. Obviously, the city of Seattle doesn't like this other one. Why not sue on that one too?
Well, I think there's going to be lawsuits on that. I think the reason that it hasn't happened yet is because and I think actually the city of San Francisco has already initiated a legal battle there, but I think some of us are waiting to see the details because in that one it said, have the Attorney General look into this. It wasn't as clear as the travel ban, which immediately went into effect and immediately started impacting people at the airports, as we saw, a few days ago. And so I think people are waiting to see exactly what the details are and exactly what funding is going to be targeted. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be legal battles on that ahead as well.
So many things happening in the new administration that are impacting our state and that our state really is at the center of. Jorge Baron, we're out of time, but we appreciate you being here with the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. I know you're very busy, so we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.